Yeah, so a couple of things about today's class. It's a little bit different from normal. I make no apologies for it because I think it's one of the most important parts of not just exercise, not just running, but also throughout life as well. The breathing side of things, we as a population don't breathe as well as what we could do. We often breathe too often and too shallow and too quickly, so we don't tend to get the depth of breath. And the reason why the depth of breath is important is for the intra-abdominal pressure that it creates. So therefore it works the diaphragm. The diaphragm helps us with the circulation. The circulation helps with the digestion system. So basically everything works off the breathing itself. And I would challenge y'all, if you get a second, is to look up a guy called James Nestor, and his book's called Breathe. It's the new science of a lost art, breathing. And a lot of the stuff that I do today, a lot of the information I'm giving you today is based off the back of his research into nasal versus oral breathing. So the difference between breathing through your nose versus breathing through your mouth, and what a lot of pathological changes can happen from breathing through your mouth versus breathing through your nose. And a couple of I'm going to spend a wee bit of time just going through this just now, but a lot of the difference between breathing through the nose versus the mouth is that there's a lot of like little hairs in your nose, which helps to warm the air, humidify the air, but also it helps to like filter the air itself. But also more importantly, because the air is coming in through a smaller area, it creates that pressure that we talk about with the diaphragm. Whereas when we breathe in through our mouth, we take too much air in and too much air out again. So there's no real pressure, no real vacuum created. So that's why we do a lot of work here today. He also speaks a lot about the inhalation versus the exhalation. So inhalation is obviously in, exhalations is out. And we tend to, as runners, focus a lot on inhaling to get the oxygen into the system so that we can actually fuel the muscles. But it's actually the exhalation that's quite important as well. So inhalation is tied quite closely to the fight or flight system. So when you're wanting to get yourself up, breathing in through your nose quite quickly can get your heart rate up quite high. But also when we're wanting to calm ourselves down. So for example, if you're working really hard on a hill, or if you're working really hard at the start of a race, really try and think about getting the carbon dioxide out of the system. So really elongate the out breath. There'll be parts of your run when you're actually working really, really hard, and we start to think we need to take more oxygen in. Try and start getting rid of the carbon dioxide, and you'll notice a massive, massive difference. Also, stressful situations at work, stressful situations at home, elongate the out breath. That's tied into that parasympathetic symptom of the brain, which controls the rest and relaxation. So without further ado, we'll start. We're going to do about 5 or 6 different breathing drills. Again, the most important thing is do what you can. If you're feeling lightheaded or dizzy, stop. If you're feeling not too well with the breathing, stop. Work within your own capabilities. Work within your own depth as well. This is the first time we've done breathing, so you'll probably find I can't hold my breath for as long as I'm wanting you to hold your breath. If I forget to say breathe out, please breathe out, because I'm likely to do that. So we'll start on our mats first of all. I'm just going to pop the recording on so we can record as well. And the first one we're going to do hands and knees itself, and what we call the ambient cow position. So we're going to be on hands and knees itself. But I want the hands to be rotated in the way so our elbows are out, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to take a nice deep breath in through our nose, but I want you to try and find the middle of your back with it. So if you can imagine, when you breathe in, I want you to try and pull the t-shirt with the back of your spine. And when you breathe out, I want it to go out through your mouth. And I want it to come from the stomach, if that's okay. So when you breathe in, through the middle of the back, and we're going to hold it there for 1 to 2 seconds. Then I want you to get all the oxygen out through the mouth itself. We're always going to breathe in through the nose, and then breathe out through the stomach and through the mouth itself. So from the side on, we're going to be looking at hands are tucked in, breathing in, really pushing the back up as high as we can, and then Again, just breathe your own time. So there's no sets or reps. It's whenever you feel the next breath coming. Deep breath in. Really pull it in through the nose. Hold for a little bit. And when you breathe out, I want you to really feel the stomach pulling in the way itself. So you're actually pulling your pelvis and your rib cage together. Last one, deep breath in. Squeeze between the shoulder blades. Breathe out through the stomach. Pull that pelvis towards there. Good. And relax there. Have a little bit of normal breathing there itself. I'm going to show you the position for the next one. So we're going to have our palms faced up. And we're going to try and take our elbows as close to our knees as possible. And we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to breathe in through the shoulders. And then we're going to breathe out to the stomach itself. In your own time, we're going to start. Ready, hands up, deep breath in through the nose, and out through the mouth. When you're ready, take a couple breaths in the middle, ready, and deep breath in through the nose. Pull that shoulder blades apart, press the elbows into the knees if you can. If you can, actually do as well, and back out again. We'll roughly do about 6 breaths each exercise itself. We do the cycle through 3 or 4 times. Deep breath in. Hold. And puff it back out again. So really try and get as much oxygen or air into your nose with an in-breath, and then try and get as much CO2 out as we can. Ready? Deep breath in. Pull the shoulder blades apart. Really try and get as much air in. And puff it back out again. Last one. So when you're ready, on your own counts, ready, in through the nose. Hold. Out through the mouth. Good job. A little stretch there. You might feel little clips and clacks of their middle of your back period, so you're changing the pressure within the lung field itself. That's absolutely normal, absolutely fine. We're going to go on our knees next. And what we're going to do is we're going to have our hand position. So our thumbs are on our pelvic bone, and our elbows are going to be as far forward as we can. So you can see me really round my back out. And I want you to take the breath in. Really push the elbows forward, and then when we breathe out, we maintain that position. And it's going to build there. Ready, and deep breath into the nose. Squeeze the elbows forward. Out through the mouth. Number 3, deep breath in. Elbows forward. And out. Elbows up as high as you can go. So ready, and deep breath in when you're ready. Really push into that posterior of the rib cage itself. Pushing between the shoulder blades and back out. Ready, and deep breath in. And up the back out. This next one, our last one there. So elbows are as far forward as you can. We'll really try to push our rib cage back there. So ready, and in through the nose. Open up the lung field. And out through the mouth itself. Give your arms a little shake out there. We're just going to reverse that. So this time the thumbs are going to be at the back of the pelvis. And we're going to push our chest forward as we breathe in. So when we breathe in this time, chest goes forward. As we breathe out, we relax. As we breathe in, chest goes forward. As we breathe out, we relax. Deep breath in through the nose. Push the sternum forward. And back out through the mouth. Number 4, deep breath in. Beautiful. Then this next one, our last one. So when you're ready, deep breath in. And back out. Good work. Have a little rest there. Good job. We're going to go into our arm spirals next. So we're going to be still in kneeling. I'm going to change my position so you can see what I'm doing. So we're going to have our arms out to the side here. Thumbs are facing up towards the roof. Deep breath in. We're going to rotate our arms back, looking up towards the roof. And deep breath out. We're going to spiral a little bit forward. We're wanting our arms to go as far around as we can on the out breath, and then in breath. We're that's a forced exhalation this time. So keep the breath nice, long, and slow. Breathing out as we roll forward, and then once you get into your breath, just start. In breath in. And change it back out with all your breath in. Still the main principles, in through the nose. Out through the mouth. Few more to go. Take a couple of breaths you need to, ready, and deep breath in. And back out. Breath in. And really try and get all the air out and breathe out. Wonderful. Last one. Push the hips forward, push the chest through, pull the thumbs back and out. Get the breathers back down now, guys. We're going through the circuit again. So we're going to start with our 4-point kneel. And this time I want you to really think about, on the exhalation, the breathing out part. I want you to go for as long as you feel comfortable going forward. Okay, so the in breath can be as long as you wish to, but it has to be between the shoulder blades, and the out breath is going to go as long as we can out through the stomach itself, but also for as long as possible. If you're getting short of breath, stop, take a couple of breaths yourself, work within your own capabilities. Okay, so we're going to go into our 4-point kneeling first of all. So hands are going to be rotated round, so our fingertips are pointing together, elbows are pointing outward. The elbows aren't locked, they're nice and soft. This time we're going to take a nice deep breath. I want you to think about between your shoulder blades is where I want you to try and get that as high as you can to the roof. So ready, and deep breath in through the nose. Don't give up any space. Keep it high and breathe out through the stomach. So you're pulling that pelvis in. Ready, number 2. Pull that shoulder blades wide as you can. And out. Keep going out. Number 3. Deep breath in, really arch the back high. And out. Don't give up any of that rib cage when you're breathing out. Number 4, deep breath in. And back out. And last one, deep breath in. Pull that shoulder blade apart. Really feel the shoulder blade separate there. And breathe out. Pull the pelvis up. Pull the pelvis in. And normal breathing again. You get breathing back down normal. We're going to go into our kneeling elbows next. So our palms are face up. Head, we're looking at our feet through our knees. The elbows are wedged into the knee itself. And again, going to breathe into our shoulder blades. So ready, and deep breath in. And back out through the mouth. In through the middle of the back, hold it there. Breathe out, pull pelvis in. Number 3. And out. Number 4. And back out. Inside. And last one, when you're ready, on your own breath, in. And good job, good job, good job. I'm going to start top dealing with our elbows forward, so our thumbs are on the inside of the pelvis, and our elbows stay forward. So we're really trying to get into what we call the posterior rib cage itself. So hands are on. We're going to do about 6 breaths here. So do your 6 breaths in your own time. But I want you to keep the elbows as far forward as you can, and you're really trying to push your back to it here. So ready, and in your own time, let's start our 6 breathing breaths. As the pelvis goes up as you breathe out. Number 4. Really push, pull shoulders. Imagine your shoulders just sit and really try to rip your t-shirt as you push the shoulder blades up, pull the elbows forward and pull the pelvis up. Tuck the tailbone under as you breathe out all the way as much as you can. Last one, make that again. So ready, and deep breath in. Fill that whole airfield. And pelvis tucks under, squeeze the glutes. And relax there. Good work. We're going to our next formula, which is the hand position changes. So the thumbs go to the back this time. And we're really trying to use our thumbs as a bit of a guidance to push your chest forward. You might hear a little bit of a click and a clap there with your sternum, sternal joint and stuff, sternocostal joint. If you've had any problems with sternal problems before, just make your breath a wee bit smaller, but just work it the way you can. So ready, 6 breaths, and in through the nose, out through the mouth. Last one. And relax back. We've got our arms spread to finish off this circuit. Arms spread, so we're tall kneeling again. Thumbs up, face up, and we're going to go out breath brings us forward, in breath brings us back. So ready, 6 breaths in your own time. Let's go. Last one, guys, last one. Ready. And relax out there. Good job. One last circuit to go. One last circuit to go. So again, this time here, it's just 6 breaths, but you breathe in your own time. Really just think, am I getting further than I was before? Can I hold my breath for a bit longer? Do I feel looser? Do I feel like I can move a little? Do I feel the middle of my back? Also, how do you feel directly after the class? How do you feel throughout the day? Do you feel more tired, more awake? Do you feel you sleep better tonight? So have a little, be mindful of these little things tonight, just to see how the breathing's helped you with your day-to-day. Do you feel more hungry? That might be another thing as well. So we're going to be elbows tucked in, hands down, and we're going to breathe in through the middle of our back and out through our stomach. When we breathe out through the stomach, I want you to tuck the tailbone under as much as you can. So ready, last set, 6 breaths, off go. And the next one's our last one. So all together, ready, and in through the nose. Out through the pelvis. Into our tall kneeling. And so our elbows to the knee. Tuck yourself down. Lean forward through, resting the elbows into the knees, and we're going to breathe the middle of the back. So ready, 6 breaths, guys, in your own time. Keep the palms open and off we go. And make this next one our last one, so deep breath in. Hold. And yeah, all right, good job. Tall kneeling. Thumbs at the front of the pelvis itself. Elbows forward, we're breathing into our posterior rib cage. So ready, 6 breaths here in your own time. Off go. Make the next one our last one. So ready, all together. In the front, push the shoulder blades back, pull the elbows forward, breathe to the middle of our shoulder blades, and tuck the pelvis underneath. You switch the hand hold around, thumbs go to the back. Ready, 6 breaths, off and go. Bend a little bit further each time. Push the chest as far forward as we can. Use the thumbs as well to guide that pelvis forward. And next one's our last one all together. Hold. Right, we go. Deep work. Tall kneeling next. Tall kneeling. Arms spirals to finish. Arms spirals to finish. So 6 breaths in your own time. Arms out wide. Ready. Off we go. Try not to sit back on the heels when we breathe out. Deep breath in. Push the pelvis forward. And then breathe out. Keep the hips forward. Deep breath in. Bring the arms back. Spiral forward. Last one, guys, all together. So once you get to the bottom of the exhalation, ready, deep breath in. And relax there. Just have a little lie for a second. That's okay. Just get the breathing back down to normal. You might feel a little bit lightheaded. It's going to be a lot of breathing. I'm just going to come and do a wee bit of a chat just now. So yeah, a lot of the work that we did today was based off some work that I've done before with swimming teams. The difference with swimming is they get a finite period to breathe out. So they tend to breathe out really, really quickly, and then they'll breathe in quite shallow as well. So a lot of the breath work means that they get quite tight through the thoracic spine. What I see in the general population is a lot of people get quite tight between their shoulder blades and their upper back because they breathe quite apically, which is the top of the lung field. And I was just drawing this beforehand. So the top of the lung field is just in the red with the zones here. So they breathe well here, but they never get the breath down into the bottom of the lung fields here. Now that's where the diaphragm comes in. So the deeper the breath, the better. So next time you're out for your run, really try and challenge yourself to get rid of the breath as much as you can. Another thing as well with the nasal breathing, it sounds really hard when you're exercising hard to breathe in through your nose. So it's not a thing to look to do all the time, but on your recovery runs or your easy runs, you should be able to maintain breathing in and out through your nose. If you can't, you're probably running too fast for your recovery speed itself. So that's a nice way of practicing it. Maybe from lamppost to lamppost, I'm just going to breathe through my nose. And then for the next 3 or 4 lampposts, I'm going to do the mouth breathing. You can start to build a tolerance to it. It doesn't come overnight. Same with anything. The more you practice it, the better it gets. There's also a link to one side of the nose, breathing through one side of your nose versus the other side. One side is the fight and flight, and one side is the rest and digest. So if you are going to your bed and you're having problems sleeping, then sometimes just having the finger over one side of the nose, I can't remember which side it was. It was either the left or right, but I can't remember which one it was. But if you hold just the finger over that and do some deep breathing through that one side, it helps to calm the breathing down. A lot of the Garmin watches now have a function on it where you can do breath work. So it's like a 15 minutes where you're just working on what they call box breathing. So you go in for 3 seconds, hold for 3 seconds, out for 3 seconds, hold for 3 seconds. And that's a type of breathing that's used in the Marines for calming people down when they just arrive in like a high intense situation. They tend to use a lot of box breathing to calm their nervous system down, but also calm their breathing down so they can then go on and carry on with whatever they're doing. So the box breathing is something I would probably challenge you. If you get like a 5 minutes sometime in your day and you can relax in and out through your nose as much as you can. So 3 seconds in, 3 seconds hold, 3 seconds out, 3 seconds hold, and you can build that to 4s and you can build it to 5s. I tend to find that 6, 7 is a lot harder work, so it takes a little bit of time to build towards that. But once you feel ready to, definitely work towards 5, 6, 7. I wouldn't go any higher than 7 seconds for an inhalation, a hold, an exhalation, and a hold as well. Does anyone have any questions at all about today's class? No, definitely something to think about, not just when you're running throughout the day. Can I breathe more through my nose? Can I get the depth of the breath as well? And if you do get a chance, the book's called Breathe, A New Science of a Lost Art by James Nestor. If you don't want his book, go onto YouTube and look for any TED Talks that he does. He's got a few podcasts as well, which I love to listen. And it just kind of brings a little bit more evidence behind the breathing itself. When I first heard about breathing a few years ago, I was like, do it every day. It's quite easy enough to do, in and out. But the amount of performance enhancements we've seen in our athletes with doing specific breathing drills either before their training session or immediately afterwards helps with the recovery. So I just wanted to share that with yourselves today in the classroom.
Have you come across Graham Mowbray has got some quite interesting things to say. Well, I don't know if they're interesting or not. He's always got quite a lot of things to say about quite a lot of stuff. Yeah, any thoughts on that? Have you read any of his thoughts about breathing? No.
No, I haven't, but I'd be interested.
It's as with everything, you kind of think, he's different cadences and stuff like that, and never really got beyond the surface of it, what he was saying.
A lot of the evidence behind the breathing side of things goes back to the yoga practices. A lot of powers in the exhalation in yoga, but also even further back in religion. If you go through, regardless of what your religion is, Christianity, Muslim, Buddhism, they tend to have chants or prayers that works along with the rhythmic breathing. And when he did his research into the benefits of the religion back then, was more because of the relaxation side of things. So it's quite interesting when you go back through the history side of where the breathings kind of came from. With all things in sport now, we try and look for anything that helps us, and we think if we can do it maybe once or twice, that'll give us that benefit. But it's just something to think about throughout your day. And can you actually bring a couple deeper breaths to the middle of your back? If you're sitting in a chair, a desk later on, can you breathe to push your back into the chair rather than just breathing with the shoulders going up the way? Because that's where you tend to find a lot of neck pain comes from, is because we're always apically breathing here, especially in the last part of our runs, where if we're able to get ourselves to relax back down, we're able to use the full system rather than just the shoulders itself. No, but if you didn't mind, if you can send me through that name again, I can go and look into that. I'd be quite keen to see what his thoughts are on it. And I think everyone's cool. There's opinions on everything, and I think that it's great to have that. It's good to do what works for you. Yeah. Everyone likes curry, but some people like it hot, some people like it green, some people like it red. Yeah. Good job, guys. Well done. And next week I'll be a bit more lower limb again, a lot more focused on movement, and probably quads, glutes, and hamstrings and calves all being hit in different ways.
Looking forward to it already.
Yeah. Good job, guys. Take care.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thanks, James. Thank you.